All right, some more Nerd Radio for you on the podcast page, WRF.com, and the Peapod Studios Network, wherever you're getting your podcasts, and, of course, on your social media at Nerd Radio 101. Chuck Bean, Al Beck, James, joined this week by Miss Erica Banas.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to your first exposure in the Checkpoint XP streaming studios.
I mean, I work a mere, 20 feet away from it, but I've never been inside the cave. This is cozy.
Isn't it?
Welcome to
nice.
paradise.
I know, I'm still here for the segment because we have enough space and microphones to accommodate everybody.
See, I thought you
inside.
just wanted to hang out with me.
Well,
but,
there's that, too.
That's fine. That's fine. You just wanted to sit in the fancy chair, which, by the way, is quite nice. I want one of these mammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
all do.
fantastic. I need to. Okay, we agreed because this is also a podcast. Before we started, or me and Al talked about the fact that we weren't going to address the Twitch stream very, very much. But Robbie's in the Twitch stream, and he said I had a weird nose.
But damn, Robbie, why don't you come into the studio and say it to our faces?
Look at this nose.
Like, or I'll just
Can you
give
zoom
you
in
an
on this
evil eye.
nose? Look at this nose.
Uh-oh.
It's not a weird nose. Perfectly fine nose.
It's beautiful.
Don't give me that.
Much like Al's penis, it's slow and fat or whatever.
Chuck has a weird
Look at that nose.
perfect for radio.
Perfect for radio. Fantastic. Thank you very
Chuck's
much.
going to have to make
Robbie.
a Twitch account and have to light Robbie up the next time Checkpoint XP goes live.
Oh, yeah.
Your face is weird. Jeez. Oh, where were we? Oh, yeah, we're on Nerd
We were
Radio.
nowhere. We're right where we started. We are nowhere. We've accomplished nothing.
It's nice that even though we've changed venues to a very
Oh,
luxurious
the
spot,
bullshit has not. It's still the same crappy show.
I'm like, somehow have we gotten worse? Oh my
I
God.
think so. I think because now we know we have a bit of an audience, so it's
Right.
just worse.
Yes.
true.
Downloads are up. Viewership is there.
Right.
We have it now.
You are
And the
encouraging our
yes.
bad behavior.
And the content is still terrible.
And
Thank you
we've tanked it.
for joining us on Nerd Radio. Now recording on an SD card. That's the biggest change.
Brought to you by the SD card.
Yeah. And now people can see us in all of our shame. And Chuck's weird-ass nose.
It's a fine nose, and trust me, if it were weird, I would have told you about it years ago.
I appreciate that for sure. All right, so the reason you're here, Erica, is because it's Squared Circle Round Table Time, which is what we call it on Nerd Radio when we're going to talk about some professional wrestling. This weekend is AEW's All Out. This is the second time that they are putting on a huge event. Actually, this isn't the second time they put on a huge event, but this is the second annual version. Last year was All In. I believe it was in Chicago, right?
Yeah, it was in the Chicagoland area. I believe Schaumburg is the exact city because, we all know where Schaumburg is, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly, for sure.
totally.
Somewhere in the vicinity of Chicago.
Yes, but it's at the Sears Center, which is where All In was, All Out. They're going back for more. 10,000 plus fans strong. Amazing card coming up. Super excited. I was at All In last year. My husband and I are going to All Out this year.
Awesome.
Right.
We are skipping StarCast, not because we have no interest in going. I blew so much money at StarCast. That was the first con I've ever been to. I was embarrassed at the amount of money I just spent. I went in the
Who did
merch
you meet?
room. Go on.
Who did you meet?
Oh, who didn't I meet? Well, first of all, it was very strange the way everything was set up because I don't think they were expecting as many people as they were going to get in this hotel. And it was very close quarters. And I'm trying to navigate the hallway. And I nearly just got run over by this dude. And I'm like, who the hell was that? I'm like, oh, it was Billy Gunn. It was just
Yes, man.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
right with his ass.
Yeah.
Or you turn a corner, I'm like, oh, hey, Jeff Jarrett, what's up? And oh, there's Jerry Lawler. I've never been to a con before, so I'm like, all these people I've been watching for years are just hello. I could just stare at them, which I didn't want to stare at them because then they're like, cool, I'll get a sale off this bitch.
Who's this creep staring at
Yeah,
us?
right.
And I'm like, I don't look, I just blew an obscene amount of money on a Bret Hart t-shirt. I can't give you money for an autograph.
Yeah.
Joey Ryan, however.
Yeah, the Master of Dong style.
Yeah, adorable. Mind you, I'm 5 foot, so everyone's tall to me. But much shorter than I thought, but that just kind of proves just like his essence and the way he carries himself. He just seems like a huge person. So I'm like, oh, hey man, what's up? A lot of people were taking photos with him, like grabbing his junk. I don't know.
That was my question: is how much was he charging to get a photo?
I think it's $20 to grab his wiener.
That's not bad.
I didn't.
James
pay a lot.
will beat that deal.
That's true.
I didn't pay a lot.
That is
for
very
my,
true.
That's true.
I'd negotiate. What's your budget look like?
I didn't pay a lot for my photo, but at the same time, I'm like, he gets groped all the time. He doesn't need my hand on his balls today.
You gotta feel the
Today,
power of
yeah.
that penis,
Today.
man. You gotta feel the power of that penis.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm afraid. Like I'd be just flip my ass over. I don't know.
fair.
I can't take a bump like that. Come on. I'm not skilled. I'm not trained.
So you're essentially skipping StarCast this year because you don't want to end up spending.
I don't want to be
obscene
poor,
amount of
Chuck.
money.
I don't want to be poorer than I already am.
Was there stuff at StarCast that you could see already was dangerous that you're like, oh, I can't. If I'm at StarCast when that's happening, I am going to spend money on it.
I mean, the panels and stuff, like in order to get into certain panels or like get early access to panels, you have to get like higher grade wristbands, like with any con, of course.
Right.
But like a lot of the wrestlers it's all of the wrestlers you can imagine, all the non-WWE wrestlers that you can imagine are there.
Right.
CM Punk is there. Like anyone you could fathom has, or at least merch, or like it's once again the amount of money I spent in like a 20-minute span in the merch room last year. I'm like, well, I guess I'm really glad I bought my kids school clothes already.
Right.
I'm like, or
Otherwise
else I'm
they
like, well, kid, you're gonna have to make do with those old pants.
Otherwise, they'd all be wrestling T-shirts.
Right.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective for our listeners, we all have media jobs, so an embarrassing amount of money runs anywhere between $12 to $13.
Okay, well, I dropped. It was like at least $500-600.
Oh!
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, but I mean, I did purposely save, but I didn't realize it would just go in like one shot. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got like.
Sounds like something else. Never
Yeah,
mind. Never mind. I've been saving up and it's all done.
Same
Before you knew it.
experience.
Yep.
Our experience.
So it was. I mean, I cut a ton of stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, oh boy, I was not prepared for that.
You're doing that a lot this week. Just
Did that last line also hit you hard
No.
too, Al? I don't know.
No.
so you're
Just over here being me.
So you're looking forward to it's Saturday's event as opposed to WWE putting their events on Sundays. We've got AEW's All Out. They're going to have a whole bunch of matches, but it's going to be headlined by Adam Page and Chris Jericho, who will be fighting for the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Championship going into their show coming up in October. You've also got Kenny Omega, who was going to fight Jon Moxley, formerly Dean Ambrose, but something happened on the way to this match. You want to clue our listeners in?
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it, and shame on you if you haven't, because
I have
it's
not.
good. Okay, well, Al, you're an exception.
Shame
you don't
on-
follow
I haven't
this
seen it
jazz,
either.
man. Come
I've
on.
already fully stocked on shame though, so I don't have room for
I'm
any
at
more.
my
I don't have any.
tippy top
I have no
limits.
room for wrestling shame.
Jon Moxley contracted some sort of MRSA infection in his elbow, and he will be forced to exit the match. He will be ready to go once AEW's show on TNT will begin airing in October, so that's great. Look, I'm a Kenny Omega stan. I have his Funko in front of my monitors on my desk every day. And he's incredible. He's my favorite wrestler, and but I love Moxley as well. Just to see those two varying styles together, I was so jazzed to see it. However,
So is he really sick? Is he really hurt? Or
oh
just
no,
a
it's
work?
real. Like this is like he has to legit get like an operation.
Is it from getting thrown on the barbed wire?
So no, supposedly it was something he contracted when he was in Japan, when he was wrestling in the G1. So, but then again, he also has a history with like getting like weird ass infections. Like he had that crazy staph infection.
Yeah.
when
Does he have an immune system? What's going on?
maybe his immune system has crapped out after like being thrown through so many tables and being cut up by so many like light bulb tubes.
Yeah, Al, back off, man. He's a professional wrestler. He puts his
Sorry.
body on the line for our entertainment on a nightly basis. You know nothing about it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll just sit here and read this comic book then.
Okay, BT Dub, I was not going at you in a very tense way. I was just kind of like, that was me attempting to joke. So, well, they don't always land, kids.
No, that's my life.
Story of my life. But no, he is legit going to be out for real reasons.
So he's not going to be at All Out, but they got a replacement, which I think is equatable in Pac, formerly Neville of the WWE.
What a bastard. What a bastard he is. I love him. I love what he has done since leaving the WWE.
Yes.
And I think just knowing that so many people were looking forward to the Omega Moxley match, they know like, well, we gotta pull out all the stops. We gotta do some crazy ass crap. So I'm very much like, I was already, once again, that was gonna be my match of the night no matter what. It somehow still is. So I'm very, very excited. I'm also very excited about the 6-man tag between SCU and Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt.
I am unfamiliar with Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt was in the Battle Royal at All In last year. He's not, I don't think he's a legal little person, but he's that tiny guy. He looks like a child. He's not a child. But like he just, he's just kind of a crazy ass wrestler, does crazy,
Danny DeVito from the top rope.
I
Right.
mean,
He's the trash
Danny
man.
DeVito wishes he had the era's Marco Stunt does.
Danny DeVito doesn't wish. He is.
Yeah. And like,
Nobody
and
better
this
start
is
trashing Danny DeVito while I'm in the room. We're going to have problems.
Al will defend.
Not Frank Reynolds. Don't you dare insult Frank Reynolds.
You've got Cody's going to be fighting Shawn Spears, formerly Ty Dillinger, after that vicious chair shot back in the spring.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be, like, there's going to be a lot of matches, obviously, with AEW style. A lot of the wrestlers are more like high flyers and whatnot. That's, I feel, is going to be like a very traditional, like, mat-based match. And
For
I
sure.
think it's going to provide for a really good palate cleanser.
Which
after,
just the way these have gone down, it seems like that's what Cody is there for.
Oh,
almost.
totally.
Like the Young Bucks are going to give you your quick, high-flying tag team match, and Kenny Omega is going to give you your New Japan 45-minute style match and stuff like that. And Cody is there to give you kind of that grounded, old-school wrestling match.
Definitely.
Which is it's cool that they can accommodate that many different styles in the going into their television show.
Well, I think that's what makes kind of AEW so great is that there is literally something for everyone. They are purposely creating their product so that, like, let's face, I mean, look, I do like a lot of the talent in WWE, but like it's a lot of the same formulaic stuff. I want something different. It's the same old's not doing it for me anymore.
Sure.
So like you gotta keep my attention. You gotta zig and then zag and then I gotta try and follow your ass. So it's very exciting. It's the best time to be a wrestling fan. Like this past year has been incredible.
It's interesting because I know we've said that quite a few times on the show when we've talked about it. It's like this particular year is a very interesting time to be a wrestling fan with the AEW becoming the number 2 over Ring of Honor, New Japan, and all stuff like that. And then watching WWE prepare to compete, but then act like it's not really a competition. Like them talking about they're moving NXT from the network over to USA on Wednesdays, which is exactly when AEW is going to have their television show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for a company that says they don't really care about the competition, their actions aren't really matching their words or attitude.
Right.
And it's just like really, guys, come on. Like there's room for everybody at the table. The WWE isn't going anywhere. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like next month. Well, no, we're still in August, aren't we? I can't even keep track of time.
Yeah,
anymore.
we're a couple days out from September. September is when SmackDown moves to Fox on Fridays, and then what is it? October when AEW show starts?
Yes, and
On
then
TNT?
Then not AEW, sorry, NXT show starts like 2 weeks before the AEW show is supposed to premiere on TNT.
Yep.
So it's fascinating. I'm very excited to see what happens when Fox gets SmackDown, just to see if the production and the presentation value is going to change, because I think there needs to be some differentiation between the brands.
Where is it moving from?
From USA.
USA.
USA. Okay.
Yeah, it's usually on Tuesdays on USA.
Right.
and they're moving to Friday nights on Fox, which is even as a wrestling fan is weird. Like, I'm sorry, I've got stuff to do on Fridays. That goes on the DVR if it's going to be on Friday. That's with all the other shows. Like when Constantine was on NBC and they put it on Friday, I was like, well, I mean, I'll catch it on DVR, but that's the death knell.
Yeah,
usually is sticking a TV show on Fridays.
Yeah, that's what it always used to be, but I think that was before DVRs, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like back then, as you know, when people, if you wanted to see it new, you had to go home and watch it,
right,
or know how to work in VCR.
Well, that's what's really interesting about going back to just them being on Friday and just how that's always seemed to be like, I don't know about that one, because a big reason why Fox wanted SmackDown in the first place is because it's so engaging socially. Like when any time on Tuesday or Monday, the number one trend in the United States, from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11, it's wrestling.
It's always WWE related. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
always.
it's going to be very interesting to see what it's going to be like socially once SmackDown goes to Fox on Fridays, because, I mean, that's a big reason why they acquired it in the first place. Not to mention they want to present SmackDown as a quote-unquote sport. So I have no idea what that's going to mean.
God. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Pretty much.
They're going to start playing that first.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's going to be different, and I have no idea what that means. I mean, I'll tune in for sure, but, it's then the ball's in their court to see if they can keep my attention.
For sure. I know that in the last couple of months, that's what I was getting to. It's weird that we're in a year where wrestling is, like, especially with all the stuff going on behind the scenes, is so interesting. Yet I've literally hit a point in the last couple of weeks where, like, I haven't even watched SmackDown from last week yet. It's sitting on the DVR, and I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it, kind of thing.
Well, there's so many, and like, no offense to SmackDown or anything, but like, I follow a lot of folks on YouTube that I'm like, like maybe SmackDown doesn't meet my ratings, but like the YouTube guys I follow on their various channels, like I'd rather watch them for recaps than watch the whole damn show.
Yeah, it's very quickly, and especially with Raw being 3 hours as it's been for years, it's very quickly. That's the thing I'm noticing too, is I'll sit down to watch Raw and I'll get through the first 2 hours and be like, I want to go do something else now.
Well, plus they have every superstar coming on both shows. They're on SmackDown, they're on Raw. Like, you're not really seeing anything different. It's just 2 nights of kind of the same stuff.
Right.
Semi-regurgitated from week to week sometimes.
Right.
But this Saturday, AEW's All Out. Do you think we're going to get any big surprises this year?
There's got to be something. Something's got to go down. I don't know what the hell it could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always at least like one surprise per show. Like considering CM Punk is at StarCast this year doing like a signing. I don't know if he's doing any sort of interview or whatever. Like and it's in the Chicago area. There's always going to be those guys who are like, he's going to go, he's going to show up, you guys. Oh my, and it's like, I'm not putting any money on it. If he does show up, then like, I feel like the Sears Center the foundation will slightly crumble from like the collective freak out of 10,000 people.
You'll be there to witness it live.
And then, I'll have to like run and like, get shelter or something because if that were to happen, like it would be insane. Like people would lose their effing minds.
Right. And I'm sure if it doesn't happen, they certainly tried.
I'm sure.
Because CM Punk is like, it feels like he's the last holdout of a wrestler that people really want to see come back to the ring, and he's just not interested.
And that's fine, and good on him for knowing what he wants and being in a position where he doesn't have to go back to the ring because of financial reasons. How many old timers have we seen over 10, 15 years like go back when they sure as hell shouldn't have because they don't have them. They needed the money.
Like Goldberg and The Undertaker, maybe?
Well, I mean, they didn't need the money, but like they were tossed Saudi money for like crazy 6-7 figures. I can't blame anyone for turning that for accepting that. So
if the price is right, I'll go work for whoever.
Same here. Are you kidding?
Show me the money. Show me the cash.
And you can go to whotheFisJC.com to find out how you can touch James's dong for a couple of bucks.
For a couple of bucks.
Thanks for that free plug, Al. That's actually a website that I own the domain of. So cool. We'll see if I can get all 4 people to check it out. And hopefully now Beasley doesn't own that website.
Well, it's a gift from James to Beasley from me.
Any other my properties you want to give away, Al?
What's your Twitter?
I'm not going to say. But if you go to their website, you'll find it.
Yeah, that's right. But you can find us, though, at Nerd Radio 101. See how we package that already? Neat.
Perfect patchwork on that one.
That's us. Erica, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
As always, we'll definitely look forward to. Maybe we'll have you back next week. You can tell us all about what you got to see.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
If you survive the foundation rumblings.
Well,
of the
you can
Sears Center.
you can follow me on Instagram at Erica_Banas because I'll be taking photos like crazy.
For sure.
So, hooray wrestling.
All right, thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us for the first time here in the Checkpoint XP studios, Erica. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys
Thanks,
at home
Erica.
You're welcome, Jay.
for joining us on Twitch, as well as everyone that downloads the podcast. We greatly appreciate you being with us. Make sure you hit us up on our social media at Nerd Radio 101. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. If I've got a weird nose, I think I don't.
You need to tweet out the survey. Hold on, I got to get your camera. We're on the group shot here. Okay, now we're on. There we go.
I do like that we were on the group shot, though,
Yeah.
so they could see.
Like he keeps getting up and putting his nose in the camera. I'm like, damn it, Chuck. Gotta get you on camera before you start doing some fancy moves.
Right. And, of course, follow the Checkpoint XP guys. Their website is checkpointxp.com. Their Twitch stream, which we're...
Twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
Absolutely. They've got a whole bunch of great shows that they do, covering all sorts
Lots
of
of
things.
nerdum stuff, video game related, esports.
Yep.
They have a lot of great programming. So if you're into stuff like what you just listened to, you'll probably enjoy watching them do it live.
Yes.
And they're much more professional. They have their own jerseys.
That's true. We didn't have any
They
Nerd
do,
Radio
yeah.
jerseys.
Yeah.
We need to be like the B team. Erica knows what I'm talking about.
B team, go, go, go.
We just get some white T-shirts and I'll take a Sharpie and write Nerd Radio on the back.
I don't hate that idea, to be honest with you. I think we should
I'm on
make it
board
happen.
too. Yeah, I'm on board.
All right. Thanks for tuning into another Nerd Radio, and we'll talk to you next week.